Howdy, howdy, howdy. How are y'all all doing? Welcome to another Monday, February 13th, right? I hope it is. I think it is. Welcome to all of y'all. Sorry, I'm running a few minutes late. Long day at work, trying to get done a little bit, getting some work, extra work in today so I can get out a little bit early tomorrow. Being that it's, I don't know, Valentine's Day and all that. We'll talk about all kinds of stuff this evening, including that. But see. Well, hold on a second, guys. Can y'all hear me okay? I'm trying to make sure this is working. All right, let's see. Bear with me. All right, let's see. Are not tomorrow. Yeah, I'm looking at February 12th. So not the 13th. There you go. I'm just looking ahead. February 12th, Wednesday is Valentine's Day. There. Better you be a day ahead than a day behind, right? All right, welcome to all of you. I hope you're doing fantastic. Let me start off with a big old SKD 143. Love my wife, love my kids, love reality TV, and especially love you guys that come out here every Monday, watch along with me, hang out on Cliff Notes live, or those that are watching on replay as well. I know some of y'all aren't always able to do that, so watching it live. So welcome and thank you to all of y'all. All right. Well, let me do this and then we'll get out of the way and we'll go on. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification. I feel like I need one of those little things that flashes over here in the screen to do that. But I'll figure out. I need to get me some graphics people in here. Just do it. Do it all myself. You know what? I just realized I don't have the background I wanted to have. Bear with me. Because we got to do this right. Hold on, guys. You don't tell I was rushing the last minute, right? All right, let's see. Here we go. In honor. There you go. How's that? Does that work better for y'all? All right. See, I'm getting up to speed as we do it. All right. Let me go through and see who we got on here real quick, and then I'll follow up with a few comments, start answering some questions, all that. Ma, welcome, Ma. If you're out here, if not, I see the notification that you may be doing some other important thing. Calling cues. What? Explain when you get back on exactly what that means. I'm sure it has to do with stage plays and all that, right? All right. Well, we'll see you when we see you. And good luck, as Marilyn says as well. So, Ma, welcome on board. Maryland as well. Hey, Marilyn. Carissa West, Michelle Moore. Barney, again on my reminders. We'll talk about it. There's a reason for that. Let's see who else we got here. Karen Loveland, 1727, missed the live last week, but was trying to win $300. So the big question: did you win it? We'll see. Cindy Heyer, Cindy's yes, it is. Happy birthday to Cindy. Cindy, happy birthday to you. We had a little false alarm a week or two ago with Ma, but Cindy, welcome. Always welcome. But happy birthday to y'all. Cindy and I had a little conversation. Cindy may be making an appearance here pretty quick because I got to find out a few discussions that Cindy's been having. So Cindy, happy birthday to you. I hope you're doing some fun celebrating when you get done here. Birthdays on Mondays, the best everything, right? I'm glad so I can get the chance to wish you a happy birthday on your day. So happy birthday. Let's see. Who else we have? Angie Hung's out here as well. Angie, I saw your little notification. Glad you're able to hang out here. Angie's the one that told me Traders from season 2 of the UK is exactly like the Traders that we're watching. I'm really enjoying this season of Traders. All right, Jake the Horror Movie Geek. Jake, how are you? Desiree Watts as well. Hey, Desiree. Let's see. Vicky Stone. Michelle, I think I said, but I'll say it again. Welcome aboard. And let's see. Annoe as well. Hey, Annoe. Brian, how's Brian? How are you? No Cleveland in the Super Bowl. No Texas in the Super Bowl. Still turned out to be a pretty good Super Bowl. Boring first half. Entertaining into the thing. Amanda Lowe. Taylor Mangus. Hey, guys. How are y'all? Terry Thomas. Tracy Muckenfuss. Tracy, how are you? And let's see who else. Beverly Brandon. See who else we have. I think that's about it. Patty Bell. Patty, I've almost missed yet. I didn't want to do that. Megan Klenjak. And we'll call it right there. Welcome to all of y'all. I hope y'all are doing fantastic. Nothing huge. that's what you used to talk about. I feel like I'm the Jerry Seinfeld show. Some episodes we just kind of talk about nothing, and yet we still talk for a long time with it. I wouldn't have any other way, but finding out what y'all are up to, what's going on, and as y'all can see, I've got love on my mind, or maybe I've got candy hearts on my mind. Maybe a little bit of each. Taylor Manga saying, does anyone actually eat those chalky Valentine's candies? If they're sitting in front of me, sure. But I can't say that I've actually gone off and bought a whole lot of them over the years. Who makes it? Someone out there is saying, yeah, we know it doesn't taste good. No one wants to really eat it. But Lord, we sell 20 billion of them a year. So why mess with the secret formula or anything else, right? It's like fruitcake on Christmas, right? You know, no one wants it, but you sure don't want to mess with it. Valentine's is dangerous for me because I'll eat a lot. I'm not really big into chips and things like that, but candy and chocolates, yeah, that's my weak spot. So I can put down a little bit of candy, but these, I'm in it more for the message that it's giving me. Cindy saying I ate them when I was a kid. Yeah, me too. I ate a lot of them when I was a kid. If they updated them, they could probably sell a lot more. But what am I? I'm sure the people who own that stuff, they're probably doing okay, right? All right. Patty Bell saying Super Bowl was a good game. I was cheering for the Chiefs, so it worked out pretty well for me. First half, gotta say, kind of boring. Second half got a lot more exciting, and we saw plenty of Taylor Swift showing up every once in a while. Right? And we knew that was going to happen, right? I heard they had all kinds of bets in Las Vegas on how many times they'd show her. Huge bet on whether Travis Kelce would propose to her at the end. You knew that wasn't going to happen, right? We got to watch all the commercials. Y'all tell me, what were y'all's favorite commercials? I'll tell you two, maybe three that I really like. I like the Dunkin' Donuts with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, where he's in dancing, and Affleck's buddy was not so happy. Matt Damon was not so happy to be there. I like that one. I like the Jennifer Aniston, where you have to forget some stuff in order to remember new stuff, and suddenly she could remember Ross from Friends and all that. I feel like that. Inside that Big Brother house, I spent so much time learning those dates, day 30, day 51. I still know them. And I just think, what information did I have to give up in order to remember that stuff that's not going to matter at this point for the rest of my life? And yet I'll never probably forget it. I like that one. I like the one that had the different mascots from the NFL teams as birds, the Seahawks and the Eagles. Flying around, and the Ravens all nesting up in trees, just because it was silly, but it was kind of funny. I'd be a little mad if I was Arizona Cardinals fan. All the bird teams except the Cardinals got on that commercial. They talk about just being discounted completely. But I liked all those commercials, so y'all tell me what ones y'all liked. My mom's out there says, I like the couch potatoes. Yeah, that was pretty funny as well. They showed a little Survivor. I was waiting to see if they showed some Big Brother. No, they didn't. But yeah, a bunch of couch potatoes. Now, what I liked is they showed one of the commercials and the guys saying, yeah, we used to have to feed them radio in the old days. That's pretty funny. We have the Angie Hung is saying Suits. Yeah, I like sorry, lost my train. They had the commercials for Suits, the show. Sharon and I have been binging on it. We just finished it up on Saturday before the Super Bowl. 8 seasons of Suits, which I think it was on USA originally. The final season was on while I was inside the Big Brother house. So the whole time we're watching this last season, I'm thinking, wow, just as this was on the air, who knows what I was up to and all of that. But we watched all of Suits as well. And then funniest thing, now they've got several commercials with the actors from Suits. Judge Beauty instead of Judge Judy. And she had the guy who plays Lewis Litt and on there. I enjoyed it. It's pretty funny. It's Super Bowl is the only time they actually pause the commercial, so I don't miss anything. So I can rewind a few of them here and there. It's the one time I actually care about the commercials so much. Vicky Stone saying Dunkin' Donuts was the best. That's the one I like. That's the one with Affleck and Matt Damon and Jennifer Lopez, right? I thought that was pretty good because I could see me doing something like that, showing up with costume and and doing some kind of embarrassing dance. Of course, the difference is I would do it just for the sake of embarrassing my family. I feel like I maybe have done that before once or twice. Yeah, I really like that commercial. Angie's saying, hate that Canada doesn't get the same commercials as the US, even when watching a US channel. I guess I didn't really know about that, Angie. I learn something new every day. The weirdest Super Bowl I ever watched, I was over in Singapore watching or just on business. Yeah, just typical kind of thing. It was a season that I think it was the New York Giants versus, I know it was the Giants versus, I think, the Patriots. And the Giants were huge underdogs. And so the game came on like at 7:00 in the morning over in Singapore. It's super early because they're 12 hours ahead of us, or I guess it came on the next day basically in Singapore, but it was very first thing in the morning. So we all got up early, came downstairs, had a little breakfast, watched the Super Bowl for as long as we could. And there were a lot of people watching, a lot of people in Singapore. It was on the TV channels there. I don't remember any commercials at all over there. I think it was probably just pulled off of some satellite feed or something. But yeah, I didn't know that, Angie, that Canada had slightly different ones. So I learned. Sorry about that, because there were some fun ones. Although I've got to say, some years have better commercials than others. Last night, yeah, give it about a 5 out of 10. There are a couple, but some years you just have a commercial that just blows everyone away. I still remember, I want to say 1984, but maybe that's too hitting the nail on the head. One year when Apple launched the Apple, I don't know, Macintosh or Mac or something, they had the famous commercial with looks like 1984 on the screen, and a woman comes in swinging a hammer thing on a chain, throws it, breaks the screen. It says introducing the new Apple. Groundbreaking. Just I still remember that commercial. It's one of my favorites. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go out to YouTube and type in Apple commercial, Super Bowl commercial or something, best commercial of all time. I bet you can find it. Whoever made it should have gotten, I don't know, an Academy Award for the best 1 minute long advertisement, which I don't think they have Academy Awards for, but it was a great one. All right, Taylor's saying, I like the Paramount Plus with Creed. Yeah, it made me laugh. That was pretty funny. When they threw, was that Stewie that they tried to throw up there? But that was kind of funny. But then when Peppa Pig sitting over on the side, that was a lot of fun. I really like that one. You're right. Anna saying a State Farm with Arnold and Danny DeVito was funny. I liked Arnold's on it. Neba. They said, no, it's not a ba or whatever. And isn't it funny? Schwarzenegger started off as a Terminator, just a mean, hardcore guy. And now he just found that comedy bit within him. I still like a Kindergarten Cop, Twins, a few of his kind of Jingle All the Way. One of my favorite Christmas movies of all time, with Schwarzenegger trying to get a toy for his kid, because I've lived it. A few Christmases, I've lived that. So yeah, that was a fun one as well. All right, let's see what else we've got on here. Taylor, Mike Fuss is saying halftime was awesome. Usher, the Friends, the dancers. Maybe it's because Usher's music's just a little bit beyond. I was busy with kids and all that. I mean, I love Usher music. I loved him when he was on The Voice. I feel like he did I guess a good job. I just don't know his music as much that I could get into it as much. You know what? My favorite part of that whole halftime performance was Alicia Keys on the piano. Her voice is just. I liked her music when it first came out. I still like it. I hadn't really paid attention. I didn't know that she was going to be on there. Her voice just blows me away. I love me some Alicia Keys. So, and she didn't let me down last night. I sure was good, but Alicia Keys, props to her. I thought she won halftime. It was all good. It's for the most part. I mean, we've had good Super Bowls, and some not quite so good. I still remember a couple of years back. Just a couple of years, right? They had Eminem and Snoop Dogg and all those. And yeah, I mean, y'all look at me. I'm not necessarily the poster child for that kind of music, but I like it. I didn't request it while I was in the Big Brother house, but if I'd gotten it, certainly wouldn't have fazed me one bit. All right, let's see. What else do we have on here? Angie's saying they'll be having a new Suits, which apparently will be shot in Vancouver. Okay, I'd heard they were talking about it. I didn't know it was in Vancouver. meaning I can audition if my agent submits me. All right, Angie, if you get on Suits, that talking about real world and TV world colliding in a weird kind of deal, that's great. I hadn't heard it was going to be in Vancouver. I know a lot of the shows go up to end up taping up in Canada and all that. So I'm going to be watching for you now. That's cool. All right, I like hearing that, Angie. So I'm not gonna spend forever talking about Suits, but there's one guy that plays Lewis Litt on there. I just almost think he's my favorite of the show. What a great actor! Just the emotions, and you just see so much the way he walks and his facial gestures. He didn't have to say a word, and you understand what's going on in this actor's mind or the character that he's playing. Angie's the actress, and she knows all the ins and outs. I don't know the finer points of acting. I just know some people just seem to nail it, and he's one of the ones that I would put in that position. He makes that show so much fun. All right, let's see what else. Patty Bell saying, "Who do you hope wins the challenge and the Traitors?" I haven't watched that much of the challenge, so I can't really say for certain. Now, Jay's in the final, right? I did see a picture where it looked like Jay was in there. Tell me if that's correct. If not, then I'll back up. But I thought I saw him on there. And if so, I'd love to see him win it, just because his first season or two, I feel like everyone kind of picked on him as being the new guy, and he had to really prove himself double to get as far as he did. So if he's made it in, and kind of for that. As far as Traitors, I don't want to give any spoilers on that because it's Netflix and it's Peacock, and I think it's Peacock. And some people have watched it, some haven't. I gotta say, this last episode on Thursday wasn't quite as exciting as the episode before. And again, I'm not gonna spoil it by saying too much about it. But I don't know, who would I want to win on spoilers? Oh, I'm not gonna say because I don't want to have any spoilers. So I'll just leave it alone. There's a few people. And it'd be too easy to start saying it. It's not. Then I'll spot for that. I'm enjoying trailers, but I'll hold off saying anything about that just yet. All right, let's see what else. Ma saying, "Hey Ma, I'm glad to see you out here during the break. Anyone remember Puppy Monkey Baby?" I'd forgotten it. Just like the Jennifer Aniston commercial, some things you forget about. Puppy Monkey Baby was probably one of the ones that I was perfectly happy to have forgotten about it. And here you are, reminded me all about it once again, Mom. No, I kind of had forgotten about it, and now it's going to be burning a little wormhole in my brain for the next 24 hours or so. So thank you. How did you remember that? Now that you mentioned it, I do remember that. We've had a few of those. Do you remember the other commercial from, it's been a few years, "What's up? What's up?" We're babysitting a dog tonight, and she didn't like me doing that. "Hey, Athena, you want to say hi? Yeah, say hi." She said, "What are you doing putting me on TV?" All right, or TV on YouTube. All right, what else is going on? Since we're talking about reality TV already, have y'all seen it? Big Brother 26 auditions are now being accepted. Any of you who dream of going into a nut house and living for 3.5 months with a bunch of other knuckleheads, have I got the opportunity for you? It's that time of year. They're accepting them. What is it? We're talking March, and they'll probably be accepting them for or February. They'll be accepting them for another 6 weeks or so, something like that. Maybe even a little bit later. I know during our season, mine was February 22nd or so when I showed up, I think, for the open casting call. But someone like Nicole, she didn't. I think hers was like end of May kind of deal. David Alexander, he was at the very last audition as well. So some of them didn't really have a lot of time between when they tried out and when they were actually on the show. I don't know if that would have been better or worse. I had a lot of time thinking, maybe not. Whereas with them, they just had a few weeks and it was a done deal. Probably for me, it was a little bit better to have a little bit more time to get ready, just because work and family and everything else I had to deal with. But yeah, if you've ever wanted to be on the show, even if you don't really know if you want to be on Big Brother, you ought to send in the audition because you never know, right? What's the worst that's going to happen? Well, maybe the worst is that you're going to get called, but the worst that probably is going to happen is you may not get called, which is fine. But if you do, how cool would that be, right? And as I say every time we talk about this, to have one of y'all get on that show where the rest of us could be cheering and driving the votes for you and all that, how cool would that be? That'd be so excited. It'd be fantastic. All right, let's see what else we've got on here. I guess we could talk a little Valentine's Day since we're since I've been pushing it so much. I don't know what we're gonna do on Valentine's Day, Sharon and I. It's the middle of the week and all of that. We've talked about if the weather's nice, which seems like it may be here in Houston. We may be in the backyard with a fire pit, sitting around a fire and enjoying each other's company and just enjoy the outdoors and reminisce over a lot of Valentine's days over the years. And with that in mind, yeah, I thought about just kind of, and now it makes me think of that song and reminiscing. Hurry, don't be late. Yeah, a long time ago song. I think about when Sharon and I, maybe not our first date, but our first when we first started dating, which was in like 1989 or so, and we one of the first times that Sharon came out to visit me, we met. One of her roommates married one of my roommates, and so we kind of met at their wedding. It was the first time that we started dating a little bit. We'd actually known each other before that, just hadn't been dating. We were just friends with each other, and then met back up during their wedding, started dating at that point. Saw each other a few times, but she lived in Houston, worked in Houston. I was out in Midland, Texas, working the oil rigs, busting my rear end, working about 80 hours a week minimum. And so it was tough. And Texas is a big state. From West Texas to Houston is a long, it's like a 15-hour drive. I think I could drive from Midland to Los Angeles quicker than I could drive from Midland to Houston. It's a big, long drive. But we worked it out. Sharon was going to come out, spend a long weekend with me. We had it all figured out. I had all these activities planned. She had her tickets set up. Everything's looking good. And as fate sometimes will have it, I got called out on a job to go out on a rig. I couldn't do anything about it. I had to be out running some equipment and all that. So I called her right before she got in the plane and said, look, I got some good news and some bad news. Good news is you got a place to stay when you get to Midland. The bad news is I may not be there. Yeah, unfortunately, I was out on the rig. And so I told her, I said, yeah, when you get here, I'm not going to be there, but go out into the parking lot. You're going to see my car. I don't know if I tied a balloon to it or how she knew where it was, but I said, you're going to see my car. I'm going to put the keys. I'm going to hide the keys somewhere. There's a map. This is before Google and Waze and all that. And so I've hand drawn a map on how to get to my apartment there in Midland. Just get in my car, drive it to my apartment, hang out. As soon as I get through with this job, I'll show up as quick as I can, and then we'll pick up. And I've still got activities and stuff planned. And she's okay. That's fine. What's she gonna do? So I'm not. Well, I guess she could have said I'm not coming, but fortunately she didn't. So I go out, I'm on this job. I have never worked harder and faster in my entire life. And I look like Superman. Speedy Gonzalez. I'm swinging pipe back and forth. I'm screwing these things together. I'm encouraging all the other guys. Faster, guys. We got to get out of here. Finally get everything done. And I'm able to come back. Hey, Athena. Finally get back the next morning, and so so we finally got to meet and all that. Well, y'all know I'm always a prankster, right? Well, even with Sharon, I knew she was destined for me when I played a few pranks here or there, and it was okay. One, when she got to my apartment, I had a shoebox, and I had a note on the top and said, "Hey, Sharon, just so you know, I have my pet tarantula in this box. It's already been fed. You don't have to worry about it. Just don't touch the box and it'll be fine. We'll handle the tarantula when I get back. I know I didn't tell you I had one, but I've got one, but don't worry about it. It'll be fine." I had that on the top of a shoebox. And then I just kind of tipped the shoebox over and had the lid open a little bit, like something maybe had pushed the lid open and escaped. So Sharon comes into my apartment, and here's a shoebox opened up with a pet tarantula that's escaped. I'm lucky she didn't drive back and leave right then. She did that. I don't think I had cable back then. It was before the days of streaming and Fire Sticks and all of that. So the only thing that she had to watch on TV was about 30 episodes of China Beach, which I had recorded, one of my favorite shows from back in the 80s. Love me some China Beach, all about doctors and nurses and serving in Vietnam and all of that. So she had a lot of China Beach to watch, and one movie, one musical, Hair. Y'all remember Hair? Kind of the hippie musical. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius and all that. So that was, she had one musical movie to watch, Hair, and a whole bunch of China Beach. So she did that all night Friday until I showed up on Saturday. I finally showed up. All right, fantastic. So a whole weekend we had to squeeze into a single night instead. We went to a thing called Summer Mummers, which was kind of a melodrama. Y'all know the snidey whiplash kind of characters with the mustache that ties the girl to the train tracks. It was a live action. It was a play, and all the people that sat in this old timey theater threw popcorn and booed and cheered. And when the hero showed up, everyone would cheer. When the bad guy showed up, everyone would boo and throw popcorn at each other. And so I had tickets to that, and we saw Summer Mummers. I won free tickets or a free session or a free season of Jazzercise while we were there. Don't think I ever took advantage of it, but one little Jazzercise while we were there. Saw Summer Mummers. They had a carnival going on in the city, so then we went and did a carnival, riding on different rides and all that. Ate at a fancy Italian restaurant, fancy for Midland standards. Did all of that, and wouldn't you know it, I get another call saying, "Yeah, hate to do it, Cliff, but there's another job taking place. It's out on the rig. We got to get you out there immediately." So we had an entire fun day, evening. I ended up having to leave again. Sharon had to drive herself back to the airport, and it was what it was. And after that, she still wanted to date me again. And that's when I knew that I better hold on to her while I could. Next time, I flew into Houston and visited her there, so they couldn't keep calling me out on these oil rigs and all that. So yeah, that's, everyone's got their little, what do they call them on the movies, cute meets and all that. Well, that was I guess it wasn't a cute meet. We'd already met and all that, but that was our first big date that we still remember, and how irritated I was with the company I worked for at the time. But it all worked out. Pet tarantulas, hippie musicals, everything else. We still tell the stories, and I'm glad I got to tell y'all. My kids are glad that I got to tell y'all, so I didn't have to tell them again, because they've heard the story a few times. All right, there you go. I feel like maybe I drug that story out a little too long, but it means a lot to me. So that's how Sharon and I, our first big date, was out in Midland, Texas, and always remember that. Always remember that. All right, let's see what else is going on. And again, this time we'll just sit by the fire and do a little bit easier. All right. Angie saying, did you miss an important date like your anniversary while in the Big Brother house? The only big date that I missed while I was in the house was my son's birthday, Daniel. His birthday's the end of June. I was in the house. I think I was one of the first ones to celebrate someone's birthday while I was in the house. I took an apple and an orange and I don't remember what else. I took different things, stuck a straw through all of them, and made that into like a cake, because that's all we had in there. We didn't have any writing instruments, so I spelled out "Love You, Dan" 143 or something. I had a black T-shirt. I spelled it out with rice, and a camera zoomed in so he could sing it, and everyone sang "Happy Birthday" in the house, and that was cool. That was neat. Everyone else joined in. It was early enough. Everyone was still on decently good terms with each other. So everyone joined in, and we celebrated Daniel's birthday while I was in the house. 4th of July, we celebrated while we were in there. Not just my holiday, but everyone's. Everything else. Now, everyone else's birthdays, anniversaries, and all that are at different times of the year. So I didn't have to worry about that. I think, if I recall, the only two people in the house during my season that had birthdays while they were in there were Jack and Kimmy, who In fact, I think they had a birthday either on the same day or was one day right after the other. So they had birthdays while they were inside the house. Big brother left cake mix for us. So we made cakes for both of them, celebrated their birthdays and all of that. I think those are the only two that had birthdays while we were in there. Of course, now their birthdays are kind of dwarfed. Remember Jasmine from what season was Jasmine? She was last year, right? So 24. Her birthday, birth week, birth month. She milked her birthday pretty well, didn't she? Hey, do what it takes. Well, and then of course she got Rockstar's daughter's birthday. Well, a few different things, on my daughter's birthday. We use that a few times. I think I said that probably way too many times when on my son's birthday. I thought it was so cute that I was mimicking Rockstar and all that. They probably got tired of it. And then you have Keisha saying, "Oh, does anybody want cake?" Was it Keisha? I think it's Keisha that said that, right? Or it's her birthday. I can't remember which one it was, but there'll be a few birthday situations inside the house. All right, let's see what else. Beverly Brandon saying, "I saw Hair on stage in DC. Boy, was I shocked." Yeah, I think that the Hair musical on stage may have been a little more risque than your typical Broadway musical, right? I'm just assuming. I love it. I'm a cowboy. I love country music and all that. I feel like if I'd been born, 30 years earlier or something, I may have been a hippie. I can't picture me with long hair. That may be the deal killer, but I don't know. I hung out in the backyard of a soundstage for 3.5 months doing nothing but chilling, hanging out in Grand Central and just acting like a goofball and dancing with a bunch of other people and putting flowers in people's hair. I could see something like that in an earlier generation. I will say this, and if my mom's still out there, she can confirm or not. I think that my parents came pretty close to being hippies themselves. If they hadn't got married when they did, just a few years later, and they may have been right out there with the flower power and the peace signs and everything else. I did take my driver's license when I turned 16 in not just a Volkswagen, but a Volkswagen minivan, and not just a Volkswagen minivan, but a Volkswagen minivan that had been painted bright neon green color. Neon, maybe not neon so much as just lime green. Yeah, maybe mom can go into some detail about why they chose that particular color, but yeah, we had a lime green minivan that we drove all over town, and that's what I took my driver's license test in. And there's part of me kind of wishes we still had that thing, the prototypical hippie mobile. I think there wasn't any hiding. It was funny. I'd go to school and say, "Hey, Cliff, we saw your parents there driving around in that van of yours." Yeah, I think we had the only one like it, not just in Dallas-Fort Worth area, probably in the whole state of Texas. It was quite the vehicle. Not easy to parallel park. I'll just say that from personal experience. But I passed my driver's license test and quickly bought a car of my own so I could get away from the lime green minivan. It was fine. Stick shift in the middle. No power or anything. It was a step up from Fred Flintstone using his feet for brakes, but just barely. But I still remember it. The fond childhood memories. All right, let's see what else we've got going up. We had, y'all know, Christy had her babies, right? It doesn't end there inside the Big Brother 21 house and list of house guests, because we got another baby joining the ranks. Yeah, Nick and his girlfriend Heather had another baby. They already had one daughter. Now they've got another one. So Nick is now girl dad times 2. And isn't it typical that Nick probably did he probably had Heather bouncing up and down for hours on end to get that baby born before the Super Bowl instead of during the Super Bowl. I'm sure he had his priorities straight, but yeah, the baby is born just a day or two before the Super Bowl, and beautiful baby. Their older daughter is going to be. I've already seen some pictures of the two of them. So yeah, Christy had babies. Nick had a baby. Nicole's getting married. Tommy is engaged. just a whole lot of transitions going on inside the Big Brother house with those house guests. It's so funny because all I could think about when Nick was announcing this baby was, gosh, you are a whole lot different, Nick, than when you were inside that Big Brother house, just being Nick. He was just Nick was one of the people in the house. He was loud. He was jumping on top of anyone that stood still for a few minutes, and just a different kind of person. And now here he is, a family guy with the kids and all. I'm so happy for him. Yeah, it's pretty exciting watching all these youngsters going forth their lives and doing all these different things. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. Misfire saying Tommy's engaged. Oh, is he in the Wicked movie? Speaking of that commercial for Wicked, that looks pretty interesting, right? Wicked is playing in Broadway. We're still trying to decide. I mentioned that we're going to be going up to New York. We're still trying to decide what we want to see. Something on Broadway. I've seen a play in the West End in London, but I've never been to New York City, so obviously we've never seen a play on Broadway. So we're looking at different movies. If the new Huey Lewis musical was playing, we'd go see that because that's what Tommy apparently is going to be in. How cool is that? So glad that he gets another chance to be on Broadway. He was in Newsies, then he did Pretty Woman, and he walked away from that to do Big Brother. Talking about a hard decision to make there. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, how do you say no to Big Brother? But still, to be on Broadway and leave it had to be tough. So now he gets his third shot on Broadway as part of this new musical. I'd love to see it, but unfortunately, it doesn't start until later. But we're Sincat is saying the Wicked trailer looks good. Yeah, I didn't know when they first started showing it. And now I've seen a lot of social media. Everyone's posting that trailer. It looks pretty cool. I dare say it makes me excited for both the play and I guess it's an adaptation of the play for the big screen, right? It'd have to be at the same name, I would think. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. But we got to decide when we go up to Broadway what we're going to watch. We talked about Wicked or Spamalot or the Book of Mormon or Hadestown, I think is how. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced or not. Hamilton would be good, cool, but I know that's hard to get tickets for. The Lion King, I don't know. We're pretty open. We'll see whatever we can probably get tickets to and make it work. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna do such a touristy thing, man. We're gonna be out there just standing out like a sore thumb as we hit all the tourist spots and do all the stuff. I am excited to see Statue of Liberty, all the things that you see on TV forever and ever. To see it in real person, kind of cool. For those of you who live up in that area, you're probably like, yeah. It's like me down here. Spaceships and NASA and all. I see it so much that it doesn't necessarily hold the same glamour that maybe it used to. But New York City, I'm kind of excited. It's gonna be neat. Rachel Karen is saying, "See Spamalot 100%." That would be fun. We've seen a version of it, an off-Broadway version of it here in Houston, which was fantastic. And I can only imagine how much even better it would be to see it on Broadway. So yeah, we're not going to be picky. We're just going to show up whatever last-minute tickets are available to see it. But I'd be perfectly happy to see Spamalot. So many bits of Spamalot that I still just quote, or banging the coconuts together and everything else. Such a classic. I love it. So yeah, we'll find out. I'm going to continue to ask y'all questions about what to see, what to eat, and all that. We kind of settled on we're gonna make sure we eat some good Italian food while we're there. I'm going to go off and find the most authentic bagels that I can possibly find, and try to do it like a true New Yorker and. Do it like a true New Yorker. I can't do the accent. I tried. Closest I came while we were in the house. Tommy teaches that flash dance. And I was always like, corner, 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 corner. And I try to impersonate Nicole doing. I go walk the dog. It sounded like Christopher Walken from his commercial last night. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna eat everything we can, just like the true New Yorkers, and see how it goes. It's gonna be fun. All right. Let's see what else. Yeah, spam. Beyonce is releasing country music. Miss Fire saying, "I'll give it a shot." She's got a heck of a voice. We'll see. We'll see how she does on that. That would be very interesting. Miss Fire is also saying, who did Tommy play in Pretty Woman, Edward or Hector Elizondo? I don't know. I don't know what Tommy's role. Why did I never ask him that? I have a feeling it wasn't either one of those, but I shouldn't say. I don't know. I don't think it was one of the big, huge roles. It was supporting cast. I think. How did I spend 3.5 months in the house and never talked about it? When we were in the house, Tommy and I talked about Broadway, but not so much about his. We talked about some of the shows that I really enjoyed, musicals that I always was surprised that he hadn't seen yet. Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Yeah, maybe I can understand why he hadn't seen that. Jesus Christ Superstar, my all-time favorite musical of all time. He hadn't seen it. I need to see if he ever got around to it. Maybe not. He's busy seeing the stuff that's on Broadway right now, as opposed to the movie versions and all of that. All right, let's see. What else we have on here? Patty Bell, Cliff, what's your favorite food, favorite dessert? We'll start with favorite dessert. Anything chocolatey is probably, well, no, I take that back. Chocolate's good. Pecan pie. I'm from Texas. We eat a lot of pecan pie here. I grew up eating a whole lot of strawberry shortcake. And my mom's still out here. She'll tell you that strawberries are my favorite fruit. So strawberry cakes for birthdays, strawberry shortcake anytime. And I think I've mentioned before, I took care of the strawberries in Granny's house. So lots of just strawberries freshly cut with a big old bowl of sugar that I dip them in. And still remember those. So I love me some strawberry desserts of any sort. As far as my favorite food overall, there's a part of me that really likes the international food just from all my travels. So I could easily say Thai food or Vietnamese food, some of that. But in terms of comfort foods, barbecue it's hard to beat a really good barbecue sandwich. I love me some barbecue. I saw Tommy over the weekend. His boyfriend, his fiance, had taken him to Rhode Island, Providence, maybe, and they were eating French onion soup. And I got a special spot in my heart for French onion soup. No matter where I travel in the world, if the local food is maybe not the best food in the world, almost anywhere I can ask for French onion soup, and someone knows how to fix it. And what I've discovered is very few people can mess up French onion soup. So that may be my favorite beginning course, entree or appetizer, French onion soup. I'm pretty impartial to, or I'll eat anything as far as the desserts, and then give me some barbecue in between. The spicier, the better. I like my stuff spicy, which in the Big Brother house, 0 spice levels. No one had anything in there that was spicy at all. Drove me crazy how bland people liked food in the house, but different parts of the country and all of that. All right, let's see what else we've got on here. We talked about Traders. We talked about Big Brother going on. What else going on, guys? Kimberly is closing. Yeah, I saw who posted that. I saw, Rachel Karen had posted that. You're in the know. I feel like I'm starting to get it to be an expert as I'm trying to figure out rush tickets, like day of tickets, and going to the ticket booths or whatever the ticks or whatever, the red booths, and trying to get them. By the time we get done with all of this, it's going to be, I have it all figured out. Yeah. And Angie's saying his favorite current Broadway musical is Kimberly Akimbo. I saw that one listed. What else? And Juliet was another one I saw that maybe would be pretty good. There's the Back to the Future musical as well. I have fun telling y'all once I get done what I saw. We'll see. What else? Someone posted on, will Big Brother have a new house? Have y'all heard that rumor? Supposedly some plans have come out, I guess. They bought the CBS lot. There was talk originally that Big Brother was still going to be on the lot, which I think is still the case. But now maybe where the Big Brother house is, there's some other things that have been drawn up that maybe the house isn't going to be there. Isn't that interesting? I don't know if it's official. I would think it would take a while to build a new house, even though it's on a sound stage and all that. So maybe Big Brother 26 is going to be in the same house. I don't know that for certain, but after that, we could have a whole new Big Brother, which I run hot and cold of that. There's a part of me that says, bring it on, because the house that we stayed in, when you see it on TV, it looks pretty nice, and the theme and all that. Once you get in there, in some ways, it's a little bit janky. The parts that you don't actually see on the camera, behind the memory wall, the tile on the bottom, everything's kind of low end. People have budgets just like everywhere else. So there's a lot of things about that house that I think would be pretty cool if they got a new house. I mean, look at Big Brother Canada, how fancy. I feel like they spent a lot of their budget on that house, more so than maybe we do down here. So if they put it in a new house from that side, it would be fine. From a just strictly a standpoint of the fact that it's my house. I like the idea. Every season I see people and say, oh, they're in the room that I was in doing this, or they're in the backyard that I was in. And it kind of has that connection from season to season that if they go to a whole another location, you're not going to get. But we'll see. I don't think any official announcement's been made on it. But apparently there's at least talk that maybe it's going to be a new house at a different location inside the soundstage, inside the lot. They may be moving it in closer to the border so you don't have the wall yellers and all of that. That could be part of it. And then, who knows? Hopefully, even if they have a new house and new backyard, maybe a new competition area, hopefully they keep the hammock, because that's kind of, you got to have the hammock, right? And the other thing, if they do have a new house, maybe they'll move the washer and dryer inside from the backyard so you don't have to only do laundry once a week, because that drove me crazy. There were people in my season who must have used 10 towels every time they took a shower, because as soon as the backyard became available, I didn't even wash my own clothes. The first thing I did was go throw in as many towels as I could fit in that washer and dryer. And then later, while I was washing my personal clothes, I'd try to fold all the clothes and all of that, fold all the towels and all that, because it just drove me crazy. I'd stack all the towels up. 2 hours later, they're all used up again. I tended to keep a towel, and I would keep it either in my room so no one else would use it, by my bed, or I would hang it up near the showers where no one used it, because I made sure it looked like it'd been used and all wrinkled up and all that. But yeah, a lot of people using towels. So we never had enough towels. If you have your washer dryer inside, then you wouldn't feel the pressure to do it all at once and all that. So who knows? All right, what's going? I almost forgot. I had the whole little Valentine's reminder with Barney. Who was it that said, yeah, Barney again? We, in between watching Suits, in between watching the Super Bowl and all that, I watched a very interesting documentary, and I think it's on Amazon Prime TV. So a lot of y'all probably have that. It's I Love You, You Hate Me, or something, I think is the name. It's a documentary on Barney the dinosaur and how he came to be, and the people who developed him were not big into TV. There's just a woman who had a child at home that decided there wasn't, this is back in the day before you had 400 channels on TV. There wasn't a lot of children's entertainment. You had Sesame Street or Sesame Street. You basically had Sesame Street. And so she decided in the very late 80s that she wanted to have something a little bit different. Did y'all know Barney was originally a bear at one point? Originally, he was a clown. How creepy would that? You think you don't like Barney? Some people don't like Barney now. Picture him as a big old clown and then tell me what you think about him. But now this whole thing is about Barney the dinosaur and the people who played him. They had the guy who played his voice, and he sounded just like him. I am Barney the dinosaur. I can't do his voice, but as soon as the guy started talking, it reminded me of him and how low end their initial budget was when they first did Barney. And then later, as it got popular, suddenly he's selling out everywhere. And there's a little scandal here and there. And, and they talk a lot about people who just suddenly start they thought it was cool to rag on Barney and do stuff and all that. So a very interesting documentary. If y'all get a chance, check it out. Now for us, I got a little soft spot in my heart for Barney because my kids were born just a few years after Barney came out. So perfect timing for them. I remember going down to Blockbuster when you used to rent movies and all that, and renting a whole lot of Barney VCR tapes. And both my kids were enthralled with it. We watched a lot of those. I ended up making, I think we bought some tapes, and some of the ones that weren't available for sale, I ended up making copies of them so they could continue to watch them. And I told y'all last week or the week before, I had a little stuffed Barney I took on a lot of my trips. So my kids would always see Barney all over the world, riding on camels and doing different things like that. I like Barney. And of course, I was at work, so I wasn't home listening to it hours and hours on end. But I remember a lot of time in a car, for example, with cassette tapes, playing a lot of Barney sing-alongs and all that. I'll save y'all from singing the song right now, but I don't hate. I love me some Barney. But yeah, it was interesting watching that documentary. So if y'all get a chance, check it out. Cindy Hire saying, "Do you remember Bozo the Clown?" Cindy, not only do I remember Bozo the Clown, I was not Bozo the Clown, but I was on the Bozo the Clown TV show. I didn't know at the time. I probably was a teenager before I realized that Bozo was all over the country, right? He wasn't just a single Bozo that did a show that went everywhere. We got to go over to Dallas, my brother and I. My mom took us over there, and we were on the Bozo the Clown TV show for the Dallas Fort Worth TV station. And I got to sit on the very front row. I got to compete in one of the competitions. Somewhere we've got a picture of that old faded picture, but I need to find that. I got to compete in one of the competitions, like pass a hat, kind of like a musical chair, sort of. I came in second, and for second place, I won a Yogi the Bear board game that had forever. And so, yeah, we sat there. I remember them doing puppets down at our feet, talking and all that. Came back, and I said, "Oh, did y'all see us? Did y'all see us?" Of course, the rest of my family's all like, "Oh, yeah, we saw you. It was great," and all that. I don't know if they were live or recorded. I assume it was all recorded, and I don't know if anyone ever actually saw it at the time. But as I grew up, I thought, oh, Bozo the Clown was in Dallas Fort Worth, and then the rest of the country just watched me on TV. Now, apparently, there's a lot of affiliates all over that had their own Bozos, but that's all right. My first time to be on TV, Cindy, was in the Peanut Gallery. I guess Howdy Doody was the Peanut Gallery. I don't know what Bozo's gallery was, but yeah, I was on Bozo, and that was my first shot at TV fame. Who would have thought, right? I like Bozo the Clown. I liked Captain Kangaroo. I had a pretty good childhood. There were a lot of shows I liked watching. Angie said, "From Bozo to Big Brother." Yeah, I don't know which one is more putting yourself out there, right? I should have known. Even back then, that's probably why Sharon and my parents and everyone else, my mom and my brother, all that. Yeah, Cliff, you're gonna get on this. You're gonna be on Big Brother, because they already knew I was a ham at heart, right? Yeah, that was all right, dog. Bozo the Clown to Big Brother. Big Brother was a little bit longer than that 30-minute Bozo episode. A little more stressful as well. None of the kids voted each other out of the Peanut Gallery on Bozo. We got eliminated on musical chairs, but a little bit easier than getting voted out. All right, let's see. What else do we have going on? Beverly Branna is saying Captain Kangaroo was my favorite. You remember Captain Kangaroo? Mr. Green Jeans was one of his compatriots on that show. Moose, that was his name, right? I think it was Beverly. Moose, the big deal for Moose was that ping pong balls would fall on his head. Low end type stuff. We watched a lot of Captain Kangaroo. I'm gonna have to go out on YouTube and find all these old TV shows that we watched as kids. All right, let's see what else. Michelle saying, "Can we see the dog?" Maybe. Hey, Athena, come here. Come here. Now she said, "Come here. Come here. Come here, you." Here. This is Athena. Blue Terrier. And she's so dark you can't even see any. You can see her mouth there a little bit, right? All right. Obviously, this dog is not quite ready for the big time in terms of TV. We're watching her here for a couple of days while my daughter does some Mardi Gras stuff. Well, I forgot all about that. We got Mardi Gras stuff coming up as well. happy Mardi Gras to all of y'all also. All right, now she's just trying to steal the spotlight, right? All right, guys. I think with that, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down before she takes out the whole computer and laptop and everything else. All right, guys. Y'all have a fantastic Monday. Have a fantastic Valentine's Day on Wednesday. Make sure you reach out to siblings, to friends, to parents. Wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy the rest of your week. I will be back next Monday. May have a special guest with me. Hint, hint, hint. We're going to try to get that worked out. I'll give you a little heads up between now and then. But yeah, make sure you're here on Monday because that's going to be a lot of fun. Until then, guys, if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to my channel, turning on notifications, and giving me giving me a big old thumbs up, and do it for the dog too, because now she's just decided she's gonna go crazy. All right, we're gonna shut down. A big old SKD 143. Cheers, my friend. Y'all have a great rest of the week, and hopefully I can. Is it time to eat? Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah, I think it's time to feed the dog. Time to feed me as well. Y'all have a fantastic week, guys. I will talk to y'all next week. In between now and then, send me some DMs. Let me know what y'all want to talk about next week and all that. But y'all have a great one. I will talk to y'all later. SKD 143. Love my wife. Love my kids. Love all of you guys out here as well. And I love my dog also. All right, y'all have a great one. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, guys. I got to figure out how to turn this up. All right, y'all have a great one.